The Native American flute possesses a lilting, even seductive sound, along with a history that dates back centuries, if not millennia. But the Native American flute, as played by Mark Holland, isn't about celebrating the past. It's about exploring new musical territory and weaving through a colorful tapestry of American and world music genres.
I came across it. It spoke to me deeply.
Mark Holland is the founder and lead musician of Autumn's Child. Its 10th anniversary was celebrated with this concert and CD release party in October at the Sheldon.
First CD was in 1997. We've recorded 10 to date, and the very newest one is called Visions and Dreams.
Holland has studied music since grade school. By the time he reached Brentwood High, Holland was juggling sports with playing brass instruments, including trombone and baritone horn. Then one day he borrowed a conventional flute to try out, just because he'd always been attracted to it.
But it was funny, I remember walking home with a little flute case the very first day, and my mother saw me and she was just kind of chuckled a little bit because this football player comes walking in with this little flute case, and I said, I'm going to teach myself how to play flute. And she's like, okay. And so I did, and she was, impressed with that and very supportive.
Before and after graduating from the University of Missouri St. Louis, Holland played with groups whose styles covered the American musical spectrum, moving between country, art rock, folk, new wave, and jazz. After about a decade of exploration, Holland picked up the Native American flute for the first time.
I just wanted to get a guitarist and an ethnic percussionist and get in coffee houses and just share this incredible sound. And that's really what we did. I mean, we weren't really getting paid or anything. It wasn't that kind of a thing at that point in time. It was just, this is a beautiful sound, people need to hear it. And I always kind of consider this type of eclectic music as like broccoli on a plate of food. It's an acquired taste. So really you have that with the people. And I was surprised in St. Louis to find out how many people were interested in this type of music, or maybe even had heard it from another recording or something, so they were familiar with it.
And Holland doesn't limit himself to performing with just one flute. For this particular concert, he brought along 17.
Different keys and different woods, made out of different types of woods. They all have a different voice, a different personality.
The musicians who record and perform with Holland vary, depending on the instruments Holland writes into his compositions. His special guest at the anniversary concert is a kindred musical spirit with a loyal following of his own, guitarist Peter Mayer. Another highlight of the evening was the youngest musician on stage, 15-year-old John Nellen.
And he plays tabla. He's studying classical Indian music. Amazing young kid. It's wonderful to see someone that dedicated and going places with that instrument. And it was fun to utilize it into Autumn's Child soundscape for the Visions and Dreams album.
Holland also incorporates dance into his concerts. This dancer is Holland's 16-year-old daughter, Allegra. She choreographed this piece to one of her dad's compositions.
It was a piece that I wrote for her when she was younger. It's kind of a lullaby, and I would hum it to her at night. And then to see her dance to it, it was, very proud papa.
But how would he advise Allegra or any young person on the subject of pursuing a career in the highly competitive performing arts?
If you're passionate about it and you have a love for it, that all these things don't come easy, and it's probably going to be a hard road, But if you're loving what you're doing, then it's worth it to you, and you just need to pursue it.
Holland is something of an evangelist for his instrument of choice. He held a drawing at this concert and gave away 3 flutes.
There's flute circles all across the country, people that are interested in the flute. We have one here in St. Louis that I started several years ago.
As Mark Holland continues to evolve his special brand of acoustic fusion, he says he'd like to perform with a chamber group. But as things stand right now, life is good.
So far, it's been a blessing, and it's been wonderful. And yeah, I just look forward to seeing where it will take us and where it will lead us from there.